Okay, so this is going to be an unpopular opinion. This is I watched Mad Max Fury Road again and I don't like it. I still don't like it. I like Mad Max. Grew up with it, okay? The original Mad Max. See, I was a child in the 1980s and I was exposed to this Mad Max series way too young. We had this kid named Jimmy who lived in the same general area that I lived in. His sister Nicole was a few years younger than me, and I went over to Nicole's house to play Nintendo. When Nintendo just came out, the Nintendo Entertainment System, I think it was like, what, 86? So I was like 7 years old, and Jimmy put on The Road Warrior, Mad Max 2, and showed it to me. And I was way too young to be watching that movie, but Jimmy was, he was a teenager, and he's just like, here, watch this. But anyways, that was my introduction to Mad Max. But I really like George Miller's Mad Max, the first one, okay, with the Knight Rider, and the toe cutter. The second one with the Ayatollah of Rock and Roller, the Lord Humongous. Even the third one with Tina Turner, I don't mind. A lot of people hate it. I don't mind it so much, because it's got two men enter, one man leave, Thunderdome, right? But this movie, first of all, let me tell you my general problems. Number one, no Mel Gibson, okay? Got Tom Hardy. I'm not bashing on Tom Hardy, but this is Mel's character. All right, number two, this is a Mad Max movie that does not have enough Mad Max. This is really not a Mad Max movie, in my opinion. This is a Furiosa movie with Mad Max as a sidekick. So he's playing second fiddle. Number three, I want to say, the movie's too pretty. The first three movies, there's no digital manipulation, there's no CGI, there's none of that. What you see on the screen is real. The stunts are real, the vehicles are real, everything is real. This movie's got these blue palettes, and I don't think all of it was even filmed in Australia. It was like in South Africa. I don't like Immortan Joe as a villain. He's definitely the weakest. My favorite Mad Max villain has to be Toe Cutter from the first movie. He's great. He's kind of wavers between, I don't know, he's kind of like a Mongol warrior almost on a motorcycle. He's very cultish, and I just like the way that his whole persona, like he just relishes in being evil. And that's what makes Max's origin story, his transformation, so interesting. I'll talk about that maybe some other time, but the disappointing thing is that we have the same guy, okay, coming back. I'm sorry, I don't know his name, but the Australian actor that played the Toe Cutter, he is Immortan Joe. But Immortan Joe is like a nothing character. He's just like, he has these women that he uses as his own personal harem to, basically is to breed his progeny. And I just don't like this movie. It's the best action movie ever made. No, it's not. People are calling this the best in the franchise, and it's not. Okay, the whole movie is basically like a slow motion version of the final 15 minutes of The Road Warrior. It's one big, long, extended chase. And it's ridiculous. The guy with the whole, there's this truck that's got all these guys playing drums and a dude with an electric guitar that's shooting flames out of it. It's way too comic bookish. Way too much like a Japanese manga. This movie is basically a parody of the Mad Max universe, and I don't like it. And it's way too let me just put it, it's feminist. It's a feminist film. It doesn't emasculate Max, but for the first 45 minutes of the film, Max is, stuck in this stupid mask and he's a blood bag. All right? They bring out the V8 Interceptor and it gets wrecked in the first 5 minutes of the movie. It's just, I don't like this. And where does it fit in the canon? To me, this is not even a sequel to the Mad Max movies. This is a complete reboot. And as far as the Furiosa film coming out this year, no interest whatsoever. I don't care about Furiosa. I don't care about her at all. Make Mad Max macho again. I don't care about Furiosa. I want them to bring back Mel Gibson and do a proper sequel. I don't know what this is. So there's my rant, my review. Come at me, bro. Everybody can get mad at me. This movie has no plot at all. Not saying that the first three were some kind of masterpiece when it comes to plotting and everything, but the characters were better. At least I knew what their motivations were. What is Immortan Joe's motivation? Okay? What is he doing? What is he about? What is his ethos? Know nothing about him. Max's psychotic flashes in this movie, okay, like the people that are crying out to him, you said you were going to help us. What is that all about? This movie is shallow, the most shallow and the most superficial of any of the Mad Max films. And the cars are ridiculously over the top. Not to say that the other movies were not comic bookish, but this one is so comic bookish that it's basically like a parody of the Mad Max story. So I don't like it. Max Rockatansky is Mel Gibson. Period. Sorry, Tom Hardy. You're not it. That concludes this unpopular opinion of a review. And Furiosa, not gonna watch it, don't care.